Ladies and hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week number 2 of the Smite World Championship Series. My name is hi-rez Bart, and joining me to my left, DM Brandon. How you doing today?
Average.
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 Well, average for you is like fantastic for a normal human, so
Probably.
I'm excited. It's gonna be a great cast today.
That's right. Welcome again, guys, to week 2 of the Smite World Championship Series, where this week Team Dignitas will attempt to retain their first place position after one of the most dominant performances in Smite's competitive history. Though to do so, they're going to have to go through the likes of Snipe, Cognitive Gaming, the Game Changers, 5 Angry Men, Down to Frag, and more. This week's competition will be starting off with a rather amazing first-round match, a match that I'm very excited to cast, and that's going to be 5 Angry Men, most of whom, if you guys didn't catch last week, comprise the former Denial Esports with a teeny mix of Cognitive Gaming thrown in. They're going to be going up against 3v3 Joust Tournament superstars You're a Wizard, who have found themselves some very capable additions in Moji and Narian to round out what could be an incredibly formidable team. But Bart, who do you think has the upper hand?
Narian, definitely an old name there, but
yeah,
you know, it's got to go to 5 Angry Men for me. I mean, just more of a tenured conquest team. I think You're a Wizard definitely has the opportunity to kind of progress into a top contender here in the North American scene. But for this week, I'm going to go ahead and give it to the 5 Angry Men, especially coming off Madman Mark's performance last week. And if you recall, they got knocked out due to a disqualification. Combat pause. You can't pause during combat, and a little miscommunication on their end. And they were up against the Game Changers anyway, and that would have been a great game. Interesting to see who came out, but Game Changers did progress last week, so I think 5 Angry Men are going to be hungry and ready to win. And kind of speaking of Dignitas and their path through the brackets, it looks like if 5 Angry Men is able to take it over You're a Wizard, it seems like that is the most likely first roadblock for Dignitas in this tournament.
That's a pretty rough bracket. They start off with probably the hardest first round. Next comes up on cooldown. If they're able to get through them, it's likely going to be Dignitas. And if they're able to get through Dig, I mean, they're looking at, Critosaurus, Pentablink is down there, a Mighty Storm, and then, of course, the Game Changer sitting in 4th seed right now.
Yeah, Game Changer is definitely a team to look at this tournament. If you saw the face-off show over the weekend, kind of talking about up-and-coming teams in the North American scene, Down to Frag, definitely a team to look at. Are they in their brackets today? I didn't catch them.
Let's see.
I don't think so. It doesn't look like there's
Are they not here?
No Down to Frag this week.
Did Pernicus oversleep?
Wow.
Yeah, we're getting word. No check-in.
No check-in from Down to Frag. Interestingly enough there. So one of the kind of up-and-coming teams. Really good opportunity here then. So we should kind of change to what we're going to talk about here to the Game Changers. Have a really great opportunity to pull ahead of probably the hottest contender for breaking into the 3rd or 2nd or 1st place standings, and that's going to be their opportunity to make it out over Down to Frag. But if someone can knock Game Changers out, that opens up the field pretty much wide open for anybody to move into the top 5.
So on the bottom side of the bracket, Snipe's going to lead the way as the 2nd seed. They have one of the easier brackets throughout the day of teams they've definitely beaten before, newer teams that are going to have to struggle with that veteran teamwork that Snipe has. One of the things I think I'm most excited to see today is that Hell is really starting to come back into favor in ranked. We've seen her a lot this week in scrims, and Hell, I think, is most notably played these days by Wolfie. So I think if there are counter matchups available, he's going to take the opportunity.
Yeah, and we've seen it be kind of on and off from a Hell perspective, especially around the Doom War. But it looks like we are in the game, ladies and gentlemen, where the 5 Angry Men and You're a Wizard will be heading off on the left side of your screen. 5 Angry Men, the right side, You're a Wizard, and our first bans coming out already. The 5 Angry Men banning out Tyr, and You're a Wizard banning out Bastet. So Tyr ban a little bit unorthodox there.
I can't believe they banned Bastet part. Incredible.
What a surprise! So Tyr and Odin gone for 5 Angry Men. So it looks like. Payne Devion and the boys, they are not interested in going up against those bruisers.
Well, it looks like the option here is back to You're a Wizard. They have a few seconds left to make their first ban. Of course, they did ban out Bastet. As the second pick team, they can't afford to give that top pick up. Only a few seconds remain here. What's it gonna be? It looks like in the end, we are gonna see Uller.
Uller, okay. So Uller taking out of the pool again. Looks like the 5 Angry Men are considering a Zeus pickup here.
Character we don't get to see very often these days.
Yeah.
Zeus.
Yeah, it's
okay,
locked
it in. I guess that's really no surprise that they would lock him in, of course, once kind of looking at him. If they're comfortable enough with Zeus, it's a pretty straightforward. The Uller ban there leaves open some big picks. I would expect You're a Wizard here to be picking up. If they give away, I was gonna say if they give away Sun Wukong here, On top of the Zeus, they'll be in a really bad spot. It looks like they're going to try to take the double monkey on Sun Wukong and Hun Bots. Hun Bots showed really well last week as well, I think.
Well, Scylla's still open, though Scylla's solo is not super strong right now, and putting her mid in Zeus solo is not going to be a strong play either, so I don't see them picking that up on 5 Angry Men. But there are some options open here. Ra's still available. Nemesis, of course, is still on the board. And with Odin banned and the Sun Wukong picked, they're going to have to focus more on a support role, but that can probably be taken down later. But Geb still on the board right now. Guan Yu still on the board as well.
Yeah, I think interesting. Interesting what's going to be going down here. I mean, the next picks, Nemesis seems like likely to come off the board this matchup, although I'm not sure that Nemesis does great against Hun Bots. Actually has one of the better control kits to deal with her. And Guan Yu going to be locked in really early here. So it makes a little sense if you think about it. 5 Angry Men, they've banned out 2 other bruisers.
Auto lock Ra.
Sun Wukong was picked up. So if they would have let Guan Yu through here and your wizard could have put him, say, in their solo lane,
right?
Then it would have been ugly stuff for 5 Angry Men. So they'll go ahead and select their duo, Guan Yu Apollo. And yeah, Ra, auto-locking Ra, no big surprise there either.
Very smart. Very, very smart. This leaves Aphrodite open, but we go back into the ban phase. First ban's going to be Nemesis to take that top-tier jungler away from 5 Angry Men. And the option goes back to FAM here, looking for their ban. Their final ban, they don't have their solo laner yet. It looks like they probably don't have their jungler, so they're probably going to want to leave those open. Attacking the Poseidon here for the mid lane, very smart. A character that has been extremely powerful over the last 2 weeks is taken out. Ra could be forced into mid here, though he kind of maintains a first or second best solo lane opportunity.
You know, and I think that the Poseidon ban here is a lot as they're looking at Scylla potentially for the mid lane over on Your Wizard. But the Poseidon ban, had they picked up Poseidon, you look at the team that Your Wizard would have had, very hard to lock down. Hun Bot's very mobile, Sun Wukong very mobile, all these in run speed primarily. Ra also very high run speed, and then the Poseidon, they would have been kited very poorly. It would have been very hard for Zeus to kind of secure those ultimates to get any charges on anyone. But now with Scylla picked up for Your Wizard, doesn't really hurt the mobility anyway, and you can see that echoed a bit on the graph there, that they are relatively as mobile as 5 Angry Men, but you got to remember, 5 Angry Men has Guan Yu ultimate and an Apollo ultimate that give them that mobility score, while those are ultimates versus Scylla, Ra, Hun Bots, and Wukong all have normal abilities that are kind of contributing to that mobility score. So doing quite well for themselves, and as you see, in fact, the more mobile team as Freya and Vamana get selected for 5 Angry Men, so going deep into the carries there in the last 2 picks.
You know, something I always try to tell, we always get the questions, hey, what should I play? In this situation, what should I do? We get those questions a lot as streamers. And one of the things I always like to say is never pick double physical in terms of solo and jungle. Never pick double magical. You want to have a mix so that you force the solo laner to have to build into 2 types of defense to be able to stay alive during ganks. And the Freya Vamana pick is incredibly smart against a character like Ra, who really doesn't have a lot of escape potential. Of course, he does have a slow, and of course, he does have the speed of light passive, increasing his movement speed. But without sprint early game, he's going to be in trouble, especially against the Umbrella Rang, Clear the Path, and Banish.
Yeah, I think that, the carry potential is literally off the charts here for 5 Angry Men. Vamana and Freya can go very, very late, as can Apollo. Zeus will fall off around maybe the 45-minute mark before he starts being, not that effective. But then you have Freya and Vamana to pick it up over from Your Wizard. However, it's going to be a lot of Hun Bots reliance unless this Scylla gets enormous very, very quickly.
Well, that's Jaco Malfoy.
A lot of the damage.
Jaco is an amazing mage player, and he has been grinding Scylla a lot lately. Just playing her as much as possible. Honestly, this mid lane, Mace is an amazing player, and giving him Zeus is very dangerous, but Jaco knows the matchup front and back. I'm a little worried for Mace. He's going to have to rely a lot on the jungler.
But, going here for 5 Angry Men, Dare to Care and Rush, Freya, Vamana on the same team, pretty much means there's no natural counters to Vamana in this game. No one really has a great kit to deal with him. Their best bet's going to be these Neath ultimates and Hun Bots rotations, but it's going to come down to if he goes for this very aggressive Heartseeker opening. If it's Stone of Gaia, Rush shouldn't be dying in the solo lane at all versus that Ra. There's just not enough burst there. Even with a Neath ultimate in the Hun Bots, they'll have to use 3 ultimates to have a chance to take him down with a Stone of Gaia. Good news for them is that they do have the physical jungler and global range carry to kind of help out there and do that physical burst, but it's scary stuff anytime you have a Vamana and no Freya to counterpick with.
Now, in the past, we saw Dare to Care as the support for cognitive gaming, but not a lot of people know that there is a major past here for Dare to Care in the jungle. When he originally broke onto the competitive scene, he was a jungler. So to see him going back to his roots, and he was doing very well last week, I'm excited to see what he can do, especially with a character as carry heavy as Freya might be, and going up against a matchup that may not be super in her favor in Hunbots, who can juke around very quickly, he can teleport past shots, he can jump, and of course he has the burst damage to burst her down before she has the opportunity to get up into the air.
Yeah, but Banish, Freya's Banish can be quite good against Scylla. If you, after Sentinel comes out, if you banish her, you can kind of disrupt that ability to dash to it. Also, it's pretty good against just general positioning here with the Hunbots trying to jump in. If you can get the banish off before the Fear No Evil, get off my lawn comes out, then it's there's a lot of opportunities to make. Yeah.
Are you lobbying for old man Hunbots?
I do like old man Hunbots. I'm not gonna lie. But that does take us through the picks and bans, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up next will be game number 1 here in the Smite World Championship, week number 2. It's going to be the 5 Angry Men going up against You're a Wizard. If you want to tweet along with us at home, be sure to just put hashtag SWC for a chance to show up on that ticker right at the bottom of the screen. We'll be right back in about 3 minutes, guys, with game number 1. Don't go anywhere. Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to game number 1 and week number 2 of the Smite World Championship. My name is hi-rez Bart. Joining me today on co-commentary, DM Brandon, and we are here to bring you the 5 Angry Men versus You're a Wizard. Go ahead and introduce our teams. They are the blue team fighting out of the bottom of the minimap in the left side of your spectator UI. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 Angry Men, formerly known as Denial Esports North America. Madman Mark will be your Apollo, matching up the Pandavion in the into the duo lane as the support for the Apollo Guan Yu lane. Mace of the Face in the mid as Zeus Rushed will be your solo laner on the Vamana. And it will be Dare to Care in the jungle, formerly of Cognitive Gaming, as the Freya. You're a Wizard will be your red team, the Chaos team in this matchup. And they will be fighting at the top of your minimap, right side of your spectator UI. Mogi on the Neath, pairing up with Narian in the duo lane on Sun Wukong. Jaco Malfoy in the mid lane as Scylla. Nerima will be your jungler as Hunbots, and Bacon in the solo lane as Ra.
I've had the pleasure of meeting Bacon and talking to him about strategies this past week and a half or so, and he seems to be an incredible player. He'll be filling the role of what was formerly Eruku on this team, who has decided to focus a little bit more on school. With that, it looks like You're a Wizard has opted to, focus more on Conquest, something I've been lobbying for them to do for a long time. And to start this game off, to start maybe their competitive career off on stream, they're going to have a rather formidable first round here in 5 Angry Men.
So, looking at the items around the board here, DM, we have 3 Death's Tolls over on the 5 Angry Men. Once again, into week number 2, Death's Toll being very heavily favored in pretty much any damage-dealing role, including the Bruiser support.
That's true. Both teams have opted into a lot of Death Tolls, although I'm surprised to see that Nerima and Dare to Care have both opted into Bumbas, despite the fact that the meta has been kind of shifting towards a Vamp Shroud or Death Toll start for the junglers. Neither team seems too deterred in the beginning. You see them both kind of going at it. Over on the right side, it should be considered that Dare to Care will have a little bit more damage than Nerima in the beginning, thanks to Freya being as powerful as she is. Nerima is going to be forced under tower here as he is sitting under half health. He can't get aggressive because one good banish or knockup coming from Clear the Path will spell hurt.
Yeah, only about 350 HP there. He's going to go for the overhead smash. A little bit dangerous there. But, Bumba's Mask, it's so good in the first 3 levels when you can just slip off into the jungle and get that extra mana regen, allowing you to kind of continue a quick jungle path. And then I agree, it kind of falls off, up until about level 5, 6, where the starting item no longer really matters. But Bumba's really more of a solo lane face-off item, I want to say, versus the Vampiric Shroud, maybe a little bit more farm-oriented. Jacob Malfoy could be in a little trouble here. He's going to banish out of the Sentinel. Still will be able to dash to it. Banish not really high enough level yet to stop that combo.
So, also, Bart, this is something we've not touched on. This is the first week of tournament where we're going to see the jungle camps have changed. The timers for the mid-Harpy camps have changed from a 2-minute respawn to a 3-minute respawn. Right now, we're getting a pretty big invade here. We have the blue team stealing away the red as that damage buff does get taken away. Banish is going to miss here. Narian goes in and gets the Tiger Stun. Moji doing some damage, but Narian has taken too much and will fall victim and first blood. But we're jumping back in. Narima's taking a lot as well. Forced the somersault back into the tower. We see the backflip as well. A major win there for 5 Angry Men.
Yeah, there's a couple gods you don't want to fight early in the game. Arachne, of course, obviously coming to mind, but Freya with a red buff. Let's take a look real quick here at her actual magical power, sitting at 72 magical power, and with all of the scaling between her pulse and irradiate and the base damage there, I mean, she is just hitting so hard. Those shots hitting for about 125 apiece, and that's ugly. What you got?
I am very surprised to not see the Lightning Storm and the Valkyrie's discretion just burned right there to try to get the kill on the Jaco. The Sentinel was down. They were both in position. Maybe she didn't have the mana, but I'm very surprised to see them not go for it.
Yeah, and maybe they're worried about Sentinel. I think maybe next time that she uses the Sentinel, it will definitely be an all-in. If you know, Jaco doesn't really kind of think about it strongly, or they can force out an escape, or he tries to make a play here as Nerema's rotating around. Mid-camps will be respawning guys in about 15 seconds here at that 3-minute and 20-second mark. And then we're going to see really some initiation. And interestingly enough, you know, normally you would see the mid laners and the junglers even hitting level 5 as these first mid-camp rotations came down at the 2-minute mark, but now at 3 minutes, players do have those ultimates available more or less, and you can see a little bit less experience to the junglers overall now after that change. Derrick sitting at 5, Nerema still only level 4, level 6 now for Derrick, really starting to pull ahead.
That was going to hurt. Not only did Nerema not use the Hand of the Gods or whatever move he would have needed to use to kill those Harpies there, as they did not have enough health to be burned down by the Hand of God used by Dare, but rushed rotate over towards the right side. They were so flabbergasted by this that both Jingu Bang and the Crush came out before they even recognized the camp was gone.
That's right, yeah, that well, that's one of the things, you know, that is really one of Amada's strongest suits out of the solo lane, ability to rotate.
Right, yeah, I mean, and that's what he did. He was able to get to the mid-camp. Now he's sitting level 7. We see Bacon is also level 7, but Rush is about to head back into what should be almost an entire creep wave, though we are going to see a rotation here. He's not running through any wards. This is a complete run and blink. They're going to get some shots onto Mark here. He's getting burned down. He goes into the other direction. I'm surprised he goes towards the enemy base, but he does manage to get out thanks to an amazing ult coming out from Pain there. Marian's decoy goes down, but he is He will be forced out of this fight, and nothing gained for Wizards.
Wow, a lot of spells used there, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the ultimate came out from Neath at the tail end of that fight, unable to really secure anything. A little bit of miscoordination. Jaco had already burned his Sikkim, so they weren't really able to follow that up, and they rotate a lot of gods over, and now Mace of the Face has an opportunity for a chain lightning here to do a lot of damage. Not going to be able to steal that blue buff, but they will be able to zone them away from it for some time, and if Derrick cares to stay around, he can stop Mogi from picking this up, but going to go ahead and concede that blue buff already on the ground. Makes a face rotating over as well. Chain lightning going to proc. No, it's not going to bounce over to Jaco. Let's take a moment here to talk about our solo lane. Haven't said too much here. It's going to be Rushed versus Bacon on the Vamana versus Ra. A pretty straightforward matchup. Basically, it comes down to, will Rush stick around and try to maximize farm at low HP where Ra can burst him, and kind of vice versa. With not enough mana, Bacon will have a hard time escaping the Vamana without the speed buff that he gets from his passive. So it's kind of a min-max kind of issue. You know, if you try to min-max too hard and, you know, get that last little bit of experience, you can die. But besides that, there really shouldn't be any deaths without rotations in the solo lane.
Right there, they were able to steal that blue buff away, which means Bacon's going to have a little bit harder of a time. Banish coming out, getting some damage there in the pulse, but no damage from the Umbrella Ring. Sprint was used as well, as we see a rotation. The Monkeys have come in here. The Tiger will be used, hits him in the back with the snipe. We have an ultimate coming out, and Valkyrie's discretion will be used, not only as an escape, but he's turning around to do some damage as well. Narian turns his sight back over, but a 3-man rotation against 2 people will prove unfruitful here, as once again, it looks like they're able to get out scot-free. Your 5 Angry Men just maintains their lead.
Moments away from the mid-camps respawning here, about 10 seconds on either side. Looks like Euro Wizard's going to be able to pick up the right side camp. Left side camp, Pain Devion rotating in as well, so it will be a 1-1 split here on those mid-camps early on. Good news now for Euro Wizard. Dare to Care has been slowed down just a bit, sitting at level 8. Just freshly level 8. Narimon nearly level 7 now as well. However, itemization, Dare to Care looks like he is going to have enough in-hand gold now to finish off his boots. Where Narima, those physical boots a bit more expensive, will still be about 500-600 gold away from completing his rank 3 boots. So movement speed and level advantage currently in favor of the 5 Angry Men jungler.
Dare has opted into Shoes of the Magi, aiming not for cooldown reduction, but for penetration to try to get as much damage done as possible. Pain walking over a ward towards the red buff. It looks like he's just going to back off here. Nerima finding the red, and will be heading back. Narian, though, level 6 right now compared to Pain, who is level 7. So far, it looks like there's just an overall increase in experience in every lane for 5 Angry Men, as we see them leading by about 2,700 experience. Not caught just yet, but damage done. Nerima actually gets banished over the wall. Smart play coming out from Dare. He's going to take 3 stacks. He's stunned out, and Mace finds the kill.
Payne's gonna casually jump off the horse and stun out Jaco there, but not wanting to go into the tower. And this is starting to get a little bit ugly here for your Wizard. They definitely have the team that's supposed to be winning this game early. 5 Angry Men, a much more late game oriented team. Vamana not going to come online for some time. Dare to Care really starting to now fall off. Early game Freya can be quite strong, but into this period of the game, she doesn't come strong again until her attack speed item is finished. Mace to the face, Zeus, a god that really starts to shine through the mid game. And so, the team that comes online a bit later here, 5 Angry Men, now taking a Gold Fury as well, easily. In the meantime, it will be a kill on to Dare to Care by Jacob Malfoy, but your Wizard really needs to get something going. They're down 3,000 gold, and they only have 1 kill on the board with a team that is stronger at this stage in the game.
Not to mention, right there, they lost 1 person, but that was in favor of the Gold Fury, which is a ton of experience, a ton of gold. I mean, that was just a really good play. Payne probably could have backed off a little bit earlier there. He didn't really need to stick around with the hand 1. He could have used it earlier and just ensured that he got out safely, but at the same time, that might have put them at a small risk of losing the Gold Fury. Overall, though, I'm sure they're screaming worth on that one.
So, I mean, the danger here is Dare to Care. Look at this. He already has Beads 3 up and running, plus his pen boots, so it's going to be tough to stop him from easily farming into that Fatalis or Demonic Grip. Likely the Fatalis based on the pen boots that we're seeing here to come out. And once he has that item, all of a sudden Freya becomes a massive damage dealer. So it's a very small window here for you or a Wizard to actually try to engage and maybe counter jungle into the Freya. And look at the ward coverage on the map currently from your Wizard. Massive wards through the center. Where 5 AM really more kind of focused around the red buff on the left side. So a lot more ward coverage, especially on the right side of the map. They're now going to try to go into Dare to Care, but those Beads 3 just so good. They can't go in. Ultimate's going to come through from beneath, but that should be no problem.
Yeah, she takes that in stride. Actually starts working her way back towards the mid camp here. She will be deterred, though. The Jingu Bang missed there. Dare still has about half his health and his Valkyrie's discretion available to him, and is not too afraid to fight here. Right side looks like the camp's going to be going to the Wizards. Left side about to spawn. Looks like so far they're raring, getting ready for it. Bacon's in some trouble here. Late Aegis is not going to save him from the damage, and he will be burned down. I'm a monster in the air. Doesn't quite kill him. Doesn't get the second shot, but they do find the kill overall. Mace is in trouble. He's going to use beads. Chain Lightning goes off, but the Crush does find him for another kill, evening the kill count. And now they turn their sights to Payne to Beyond, but Rush is here, and it looks like Rush is going to find... Oh, Sentinel over the wall!
Plays. That was really, really pretty. Narian barely going to make it out as well. With the Somersault, Cloud now sitting up there eating the peach, healing up a bit. Naramon getting chased a bit into the jungle by Rush, but going to leap back over into the mid lane. And because of that commitment into trying to find the Hun bots, they won't go and catch the Scylla. Rush going to throw out an umbrella, but not find her. So a very, very kind of clever, cheeky play there by Jaco. Going to dodge out under the Apollo ultimate. In the meantime, Madman Mark will dive the tower and find Narian in the mid lane. And well, yeah, that's why you don't stand under tower with low HP against Apollo. He'll just dive you. And Serenade giving that extra protection makes it so that he's kind of safe dealing with 1 or 2 tower hits, even in early stages of the game. Also important to note, Madman Mark with a 1 level advantage over Mogi, and Apollo definitely the more damage-oriented hunter out of the two. Needs more of a caster from that role until late game, where she starts getting maybe a Rage Blade up and running. She can really go toe-to-toe with the Apollo if she's ahead.
Well, the issue is that so far she has not been ahead. I mean, she's been pretty much down this entire game, down a level right now. About 5k in hand, whereas Mark's sitting at about 5,700 with those boots finished as well. Moji has not opted into boots, and thus has picked up Draining Blade to give her a little bit more sustain in lane. But if she decides to fight, it could be rough for her, because the penetration coming out and the extra damage overall from Mark could be enough to finish her off, even in the boxing match.
Looking around at the itemization now, DM, let's take a look at what's coming out. Rushed, going to be building into a very early Height of the Urchin, it looks like here. Maybe a Magi's Blessing, but likely to be the Height of the Urchin. Not a lot of single target spells besides Sikkim, and maybe the Neath Arrow, kind of notably, that he would be wanting to... Well, yeah, well, no, I mean, Banish isn't his problem. Banish
That's true.
On his team. I mean, maybe Cat Stun he would be worried about, but I think that it's likely to be the Height of the Urchin, not the Magi's Blessing out of that item. And it's going to be a quick Sovereignty after Midas Boots. So this has been the favorite opening for supports currently. The left side's going to get initiated on. It is the Midas Boots into Sovereignty after Death's Toll. So if you are looking to take something back to your casual gaming or ranked play, try Death's Toll into Midas Boots for your support.
We got an ultimate here, raining down from the sky. The Sentinel has come down, thrown everyone around. We see the Neath ult coming out as well. It will be on cooldown. And again, not enough damage coming out from the Wizards to secure a kill. And it looks like 2 ultimates were used in the process, but not much gain. That's going to put, I guess, the ball back in 5 Angry Men's court with all 5 ultimates available. No Gold Fury, and camp starting to spawn. I think we're going to see a fight pretty soon here.
Ace of the Face has a lane ward in mid lane, in front of the tier 1.
I love it. I love lane
I
wars.
have no idea why. You would normally this ward would be between the tier 1 and the tier 2 to kind of spot those rotations to the backside, but I guess to catch out these gods standing just off of the right or left lane. If you actually look at the well, let's take a
Narian taking a lot of
trouble.
damage.
Ultimate forced out. Pain Devion did use the ultimate as well to force out the Sun Wukong ultimate, but you got to think the Sun Wukong ultimate's a little bit more of a bigger cooldown to blow than the Guan Yu ultimate, because Sun Wukong really relies on that to get in, get out, especially with this not very resilient build he has. When you look at the Guan Yu already sitting on the rank 2 of the Steel Mail.
Oh, baby! Onto the tower. Bacon is down. Rushed finds himself a kill, putting them up 5-3. And just for a little insult added to the injury, Jacob Malfoy takes an armored umbrella to the face as well, putting him down to about 2/3 health overall. Still, 5 Angry Men undeterred overall, and now they're going to push their sights back over towards the Gold Fury. Level 3 hand available for 5 Angry Men. Narian has not finished his yet. I'm surprised to see them back off, but I'm a Monster has been used. Not enough damage to really deter them completely. Still a pretty big win for 5 Angry Men, just stripping those ults away.
That's right, yeah, and I do want to point out there that Pain Devion sitting on rank 2 Rage of the Gods versus the Wrath of the Gods rank 3 here for Narian over on your Wizard is why they backed off there. They are outclassed, so that's the difference between that Steel Mail rank 2 on Pain Devion and now rank 3 hand just coming up versus the Iron Mail rank 1 for Narian here and the Hand of the Gods rank 3. So early itemization there into the abilities forces 5 Angry Men off of an opportunity where a lot of ultimates were down from your Wizard to try and make a move at an objective.
Again, the beads save Dare to Care. He beats to ensure he cannot be stunned by the World Weavers. Now they turn their sights onto Wizard Narian, who is taking a lot of damage very quickly, and Detonate will bring him down.
Detonate's so good against Sun Wukong. The ability to build those stacks up, and even if he gets into the ultimate, you can still put out the burst damage before he can heal up. It's like a super dot against those gods that go invuln, like the Freyas and the Sun Wukongs of the world. Very, very, very effective.
I think actually that is the misconception, really, is that they're invulnerable, and they're not. They're just untargetable. But
right.
If they're already targeted.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point. It's right. If they're already targeted, you can still detonate on them. And also want to point out, Dare to Care here is going to be a demonic crit game for Freya over the Fatalistium.
I like it.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the reason why you would or would not purchase Fatalis over demonic grip in a situation like this.
Well, Fatalis is, of course, going to give you the movement speed. A lot of movement speed and a lot of attack speed, but it doesn't affect your damage outright. It just increases your damage, secondarily by increasing your attack speed. Now, if you go into Demonic Grip, that's going to increase the damage not only of the abilities that you're using all the time, but the Valkyrie's Discretion as well. Double ult, double Aegis! Mace is going to be able to escape this one, and Wizards cannot be happy.
No, and Rush is going to rotate over now as well. Opportunity, however, for your Wizard to push up this right side lane with the Rob, maybe find some damage on the tower over near the Gold Fury. Narian and Madman Mark having a bit of a boxing match as well. Rotations coming back out. Right side mid camps are up, down. It looks like Nerima is going to find himself a camp. Overhead smash coming out. There you go. Crits. And it's a little bit of experience gained, but look at the Gold Fury. Looks like giving up a right side camp for a Gold Fury is a trade that the 5 Finger Men are willing to make. Getting low here. Can Narian close the distance? No, just a bit too late.
Too late. Narian's decoy goes down, but they do find a kill into Pain. Narian gets picked off as well by Madman in the back there, and some damage getting taken down there. We're going to see the Lightning Storm go through. Banish coming out. Narimal could be in some trouble. Did he get a stack on him? No, just barely escapes.
Yeah, just barely there. He hit the, he detonated actually, I think, when he was banished, doing the damage, but not able to build any more stacks. Also, a really, really great shot there by Madman Mark onto the bird form, escaping Sun Wukong as he was turning the corner. Only really had one opportunity to hit that shot and did, in fact, hit it. So great job there by him. Taking a look at the difference between the Hunters right now. Madman Mark, 8,000 net worth, level 15. Moji's Neath, level 13 with just under 7,000 net worth. So pulling ahead rather quickly as Madman Mark on the back of those Gold Furies.
But then, we look at Rushed here, sitting over 9,000 gold, 100, full sprint available. We have another Blink. Dare to Care is going to find a great banish, and now he's going to turn his sights onto Bacon. Bacon uses sprint just to get out in time. Make sure he cannot be slowed as well, trying to pop that sprint. Overall, we don't really see too much happening in terms of damage, though. Mace just took about half his health. We're seeing the real push come in as Rush gets huge. Narimal's going to jump back to the tower, and Pain's going to go under the tower looking for the stun. Are they going to press forward?
They're going to go ahead and dive in here. Rush is there, Pain is there, but I don't think they have enough mana on to Rush. No, he is going to have a clear the path. Trying to find Nerima. Needs about 1 maybe 2 auto attacks as he ticks back up. In the meantime, left side, Apollo with the passive able to take down that tier 1. Here comes Valkyrie's Discretion. Nerima jukes the bombs as well. Great plays there by your Wizards. Nerima on the Hunbots, but they give up a lot for that. The 4-man push on the right side from 5 AM does yield them a tower through the split push on the left, where Madman Mark was able to force the underleveled Mochi out of lane.
Ain just barely dodging the crush as well by using Warrior's Will to get out of it. I am so impressed by Nerima there because not only did he dodge all 4 hits from that Valkyrie's Discretion, but Dare to Care burned the beads to get the cooldown up to ensure that he could use it. So that was a double usage right there just to try to get the kill. And by the grace of all that is holy, Nerima escapes by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, and for those of you that aren't aware, the Purification Beads are an item that removes CC and makes you immune to CC for a few seconds depending on their rank, but at max rank also reduces all of your cooldowns by 5 seconds. So with gods that have short cooldowns, you can double cast some abilities, and of course you can knock 5 seconds off to get things up faster. So something like a Zeus with the Purification Beads rank 3 can chain lightning, stack up, detonate, and then have another detonate ready to go very, very shortly. Needs ultimate burn on the right side lane on Pain to be on under tower, unable to convert with 3 gods over here, including their Hunbots, is You're a Wizard. And that's, once again, another ultimate use with really no conversion. And that seems to be the name of the game here so far from You're a Wizard.
Right camp going to be taken there. You see the 2 Wizards taking that one down. Left camp still not up for about a minute or so. We're seeing Moji get pressured back. It looks like Madman Mark is not going to allow her to take this. And with the rotation coming out from Dare, they're going to ensure this. But Nerima comes over. He's going to take some damage for his trouble here. The Pulse Irradiate combo plus 1 Pulse is going to put him down to about 2/3. But he heals up a little bit. And they will finally confirm this blue buff. But at the same time, they have spent a lot of farming time on these small amounts of experience, and some experience has been wasted. But still, 5 Angry Men continues their lead. 5,000 gold, 6,000 experience. They're going to need a Gold Fury or some kind of push, or maybe even a kill here as Madman's in trouble.
Madman's going to try to man up there. They're going to trade ADCs as Dare to Care goes up into the air. Now going to throw out the Pulse Irradiate combo, but Marion going to stun it out. Jacob Malfoy needs to hit this. Sikkim is going to miss him at Crush, is going to land at what cost? Marion's going to go down trying to stay in there and set up that kill. Mid lane getting pressured as well. And look at the rotation from Rush. Such good play from 5 Angry Men. Who's going to go ahead and waddle in there as the big baby and take this tower under the tier 1, tier 2 on the left tower. Jacob Malfoy banished out, and they're going to force him off this tower. No Apollo at the moment, though, to really pressure this tier 2 on the left. They're going to do what they can with the in-hands coming out from Dare to Care and Pantavion, but I'm not sure they have the damage to really continue aggressing. But it looks like they're going to commit to it. 5 Angry Men going for the tier 2. Nerima can't stop them, and they have no rotations from the Ra, who wants to trade a tier 1, and they'll take that all day. Tier 2, final tower out of the left lane traded for a tier 1 in the right.
That banish tickled me so much. I mean, not only did he force Jaco into a point where he had to escape, but he stopped the crush from going off, which not only stopped or allowed more creeps to get into the point, but ensured that they didn't take the damage that they would have normally by standing inside of it. Really, that entire play was Dare to Care. Incredible.
Yeah, Dare to Care has done a very, very nice job in the transition over to the jungle. One of the more successful kind of role switches we've seen so far. Obviously, he was a damage-dealing role prior to his move over to COG, where he became their support. But here, so far, it seems like moving back into that damaging role in the jungle has been very successful for them.
Speaking of the jungle, Bart, it looks like the Gold Fury is back up 9-5 right now. They have a 7,000 gold lead, which I'm sure they're going to try to increase here. But 5 Angry Men will be contested here as we see all of the Wizards start to rotate in. Jaco moves back to mid to find himself face down by 2 people, and 4 members of Wizard are grouped up on top of this Gold Fury, which means that if they're not going to go for it, they're really just wasting time. They did lose their Sentry Ward, so 135 gold just kind of thrown down to the ether, and now they're forced to back off. I'm really surprised that we just didn't see them go for it.
Yeah, it's been an interesting kind of arms race here at the Gold Fury with these Sentry Wards. You can see, there's actually looks like it to be a little bit of a bug, but Nerima and Mesa Face have both used theirs now, and Mesa Face is the one down, so no more Sentry Wards available on the map, so it looks like, for the moment at least, 5 Angry Men will hold the, I guess, the monopoly of vision at the Gold Fury for the moment. 2-man, 3-man rotation, it looks like coming over to the mid lane for You're a Wizard. Rushed. Just going to throw out an Armored Umbrella and not find any damage there, but some recalls coming on the left side. Are they spotted out by that ward? Yeah, they had this ward deep at the XP camp, and they see that recall coming out from Sun Wukong. Had they had more members on the left side of the map, 5 Angry Men had an opportunity there for a Gold Fury.
Well, it looks like instead of the Gold Fury, people are just going to go back to their farming ways. On the bottom side, 5 Angry Men have picked up both the red and the blue on the right side. We're seeing the speed buff going to be respawning inside a 30-second window. Not blinking just yet, so they're just waiting for that to come up. Right side, Fire Giant still available. No contest, not really much vision either. We see one blue ward as they rotate up to pick up the blue buff on the top side. It looks like that one's going to go to Ra. He goes back to the base, which is unfortunate for the Wizards because now Jaco is by himself fighting for. The Creeping Curse comes out. He's already been sentineled, and Pain goes up on top of the horse.
Not going to go for the immediate stun leaping off, but we'll find 2 men with the stun. In comes the You're monster, but only doing 200 damage to Rush already, so tanky. Sitting at level 20 with the High of the Urgent and his Chin Size finished. A lot of damage, a lot of tankiness there to carry in the front line, throwing up the damage. We're going up into Valkyrie's Discretion. There is the Aegis activated by Moji, going to prevent a lot of that damage. Rush getting very, very low, is going to fall there. Narian now going to fall as well. Double kill coming up from Mace in the face. Bacon looking to fall as well, but they're going to miss the body block and the damage from him. In the meantime, however, DM Madman Mark at the tier 2 in the right, and I don't think they can stop him from taking this tower.
Yeah, there's no way. Bacon's rotating over. If he decides to commit to this, he's going to wind up dead. As you see Madman moving forward, he realizes the health situation. This not only set up a tier 2 for them in that 4v5, but now the Gold Fury is going to be taken on top of the 2-for-1 that they earned in the fight itself. That's going to increase their lead to about 10,500 gold, and the experience difference going to skyrocket up to close to 12k, as well as Madman moves to the mid lane undeterred against both Scylla and Neath as Apollo. I mean, usually that's not a place that you want to be, but as big as they are right now, they really have not much to worry about.
I think one of the bigger issues right now is Mace of the Face has gotten into an uncontested Book of Thoth that he has pretty highly stacked up now, looking at his magical power, 300 flat at the moment. Ratatouille gonna be finished up here in about the next. Let's take a look at his gold per minute.
800.
Sitting at 384 gold per minute. So in about 2.5 minutes, he's gonna have that Ratatouille finish, and then his magical power all of a sudden is going to be sitting around 500-600, and things are going to get really, really tough, especially if he decides to finish off that Polynomicon out of the Tiny Trinket or even the Bancross. Just becomes so hard to take down. The burst is going to heal him up really, really effectively, and the Book of Thoth plus Tahuti damage is the strongest 2-item combination in the game.
You know, I really love the Tiny Trinket start because, it, like you said, it allows him to either go into Bancrofts or it allows you to go into Polynomicon, 2 of the highest damaging items in the game. It gives him a great amount of focus and what he loves to push. Right there, Dare to Care finds a kill in the mid lane. Nerima has disappeared. I'm a Monster will be used. 3 stacks going to come out there, and Mace will find a free double kill. That's going to be 3 people down. Now, while they don't have a lot of health, this could be a Fire Giant attempt coming out for 5 Angry Men.
Yeah, I would expect it would be. Their map positioning is fantastic. They have pressure coming up the left side onto the Phoenix, going to force Sun Wukong over there to stop him as Ra is a little bit overextended in the mid lane, pushing that out, which means there will be no Sun Wukong with the Hand of the Gods to even begin to contest Fire Giant, already sitting under half health. That is what Freya and Zeus together will yield you. Lots and lots of damage coming out onto these objectives. Freya especially, ripping through him there.
Completely been unable to deter him. Not only that, but he just used his abilities to try to get away. Serenade will be used, but not in time. It looks like Madman Mark is going to be running here, but that's a level 15. Looks like Hunbot that's chasing down a level 20 Fire Giant enabled Apollo. Not probably a fight that he wants to continue as he does manage to back off.
Yeah, this really snowballed away from Nerima. Dare to Care just now has been able to solo him down twice in about the last 7-8 minutes. Just 1 or 2 shots from the Pulse Radiant combo with the Demonic Grip into a Valkyrie's Discretion kills him with the armor debuff, basically doing true damage on that ultimate, and it is, of course, max, or nearly max rank, sitting at level 19 is Dare to Care. And 1 Phoenix down in the mid lane. Looking to win this one is the 5 Angry Men. Fire Giant buff up on 5 Banish coming out. They're going to start channeling in the damage on Nerima. You can see how fast he's getting version. Valkyrie's Discretion, first shot takes him out at 320 damage. He doesn't even have enough damage to really, or enough HP to even tank the ultimate from Freya from 100 to 0, and now it's quite ugly. Down is the Sun Wukong and the Hunbot, so a lot of their control off the board. Rush will fall, which is good news, but Madman Mark is really the danger here against the Titan, sitting on a crit stick plus the Sai here, the short sword, a lot of crit, and the fully stacked Heartseeker over the top. Still in your monster, going to miss the 3rd, however. But that should be enough to hold them off for now. They did take the Apollo down. If they can take Dare to Care here as well.
Not over. We do have an ult coming out. Mace is getting very low, and they're going to try to push forward, but Dare to Care trying to find something. Mace getting down to about 1 health there before getting pushed out. Dare could be in some trouble here. He does not have a way out of this. They're going to find a double kill there, guaranteed. I don't see Pain being able to get away from this one. Sentinel in, one shot from what could be the Polynomicon is going to be able to pick him up, and now Mace will go back. But like Bart has, I guess, insinuated, the damage has been done. There are 3 Phoenixes down and only 1 tower missing right now for 5 Angry Men. It was a good fight for them on You're a Wizard, but I just don't see them being able to finish this one out.
I think one of the big things to note here, as You're a Wizard, and you can tell kind of coming maybe a little bit newer to the Conquest scene there, they have, Scylla, Draco Malfoy will kind of dive in on the tail end of that fight. You'll see the Neath ultimate come out, and the Sikkim has already been used. And that's the second or third time this game where they just haven't really coordinated the guaranteed Sikkim hit off of that Neath ultimate. And there they could have probably converted yet another kill onto Mace to the face, who was hit by that Neath ultimate. They just weren't able to convert onto it. And I think that, a little bit of coordination mishaps a couple times this game has led to this big disparity between You're a Wizard and the 5 Angry Men. 14,000 gold, 12,000, nearly 13,000 experience in the way of the former Denial team.
So Mace has actually sold the Tiny Trinket. He has gone into Rod of Tahuti. He finished it up. Spell Focus has been picked up, which can be built into Obsidian Shard. And he has just picked up the red buff. That's going to put him at 609 magical power right now, with that Fire Giant ticking away as well, which still has about 1.5 to 2 minutes left on it before it will be pushed off. Gold Fury about to spawn, but with 3 Phoenixes down and the gold massively in their favor, I think they're going to group up and just go for the kill.
Yeah, I think, so the reason that you see him sell that Tiny Trick and build into the Spell Focus is that this 22% Magical Pen is really good against the Titan. Much better than a little bit of Lifesteal will be. Titans do have tremendous amount of armor, and percentage reduction is very, very strong against them. So moving in now is Team Ooh, a.k.a. the 5 Angry Men. And here we go. It's going to be a dive onto the Titan, doing everything they can as You're a Wizard to keep them off, having to retreat into the fountain. So much damage from Dare to Care, especially in an AoE with that ultimate and the Zeus ultimate on top of the Titan, forcing them, even overlapping the pool. They pulled that Titan into a great position, dropped the ultimate, and that is all she wrote. Ladies and gentlemen, the 5 Angry Men knock out You're a Wizard.
You're a Wizard came into this tournament, I think, with pretty high spirits. They're definitely a capable team. They have been scrimming a lot over the past week, and they have been putting out some pretty impressive stats. But they go up against 5 of the hungriest players, I think, in the entire world right now. The island of misfit toys, as these teams kind of like mesh together. Madmen coming from Snipe. We had Rushed, Mace, and and Pain de Vion coming from Denial, and then Dare to Care, of course, coming from COG, to create, these 5 Angry Men. And for the first round of the tournament, they had a very difficult bracket there. And still we see 5AM doing a pretty good job.
And this is what happens when, Mace to the face, a great Zeus player. And when you let Zeus through to Mace, or really MLC Stealth, notably from North America, either one of those players, they tend to get scores like this, where they're just so good at surviving the early laning stages. I mean, Nerima's Hunbots just way underperformed this match. It was really going to be heavily reliant on him to shut down the Zeus. You got to think in the draft they're saying we'll let Zeus through and we'll pick the Hunbots. Hunbots ultimate, very successful against Zeus most of the time. But let's take a look here at our first Bud play, DM, as it's coming back up now.
All right, so this is just kind of on the back of Nary, and he overcommitted to this entire engagement. And with, I think it was 72 damage we saw in the beginning that Dare to Care was able to put up with the red buff, and of course the Vamp Shroud. That's rough.
It's just too much damage. Yeah, I mean, you can see there Freya in the hyper early stages of the game with a red buff. It's just ridiculous because you're activating 2 abilities plus your in-hand damage with each of those shots, and you just can't handle that with only 400 or 500 HP, taking between 65 and 80 damage a hit, depending on what of those factors are in line there. He just got blown up, and that really started the snowball away from him. And you see Naruma only hitting level 16 in this matchup, 1 level ahead of his support, and just 1 level ahead of Pain de Vion on the other side as well.
It was definitely kind of a rough game for Nerima. But aside from that, we do have on cooldown the 9th seed moving over Asclepius Gaming. Team Dignitas has defeated Bai. Congratulations to Team Dignitas. Lisp Crew has beat Get Off Fenris. 5 Angry Men, of course, we did see defeat You're a Wizard. The Game Changers have moved on, and they will be fighting a Mighty Storm. Pentablink and Critosaurus will be playing in round 2. Snipe and Paragon Gaming, who has defeated the 15th seed Netflix Gaming. We're going to see Full Moon moving on against Placebo. They'll be fighting Pizza Lot, who has gotten through Disc Unreadable. Cognitive Gaming has moved past Insania Gaming. Resist Gaming defeats Seed 14 Bringer. Torch has moved on past Exile, and Victoria's Secret moves on past Royal Gaming. That will be your round of 16.
That's right, and as we saw there, just ending 5 Men vs. Your Wizard, they'll be going up against on cooldown, as you mentioned, DM. They did beat Asclepius there, so or Asclepius, I'm sorry.
Asclepius.
So Lisp crew, is that like a Victor
fans.
Monroe and the boys? So yeah, definitely some normal players around. Looks like our next matchup, guys, you see there in yellow on the left side of your bracket, is going to be Pentablink versus Critasaurus. So definitely be looking forward to that one. Yeah, it's, I mean, definitely two teams that are, I think, sitting pretty comfortably in that 5 to 8 position right now. Both of them looking to break into the top 4 and an opportunity to make it in. That's right, and an opportunity to make it into the round of 8, depending on who wins this out of our round of 16. Guys, thank you for tuning in today. Coming up next is going to be round number 2 of week number 2 Smite World Championship. Tweet at us or with us at hashtag SWC. For DM Brandon, I'm hi-rez Bart. We'll see you guys in just a couple of minutes with Pentablink versus Critasaurus. Don't go anywhere.